Hey, what's going on, guys? This is your man, Real Deal, Steele, coming to you live late on a Tuesday night, going up on a Tuesday for a special late edition. Welcome one, welcome all. Good to have you aboard. Hopefully, more folks will come trickle in. Pretty sparse tonight. Most people must be tuned out or in bed early, but we've got, nevertheless, got a great show lined up for you tonight. A lot of really interesting things to cover, and I'm just going to get down to all of it, ladies and gentlemen. But before we begin, of course, if I could just ask you to smash that like button, that's obviously hugely appreciated. It's the number one thing you can do to help out the channel. Also, if you're brand new here, I'd like to personally welcome you. You're watching Steven Steele Live. I'm Steven Steele. It's great to have you with us. Also, feel free to subscribe, hit that notification bell on all, so you never miss our streams. Sometimes I'll go live streams very spontaneously in relation to different events or news that is transpiring, so you don't want to miss those. So make sure you, whether you're a new subscriber or a long-time subscriber, make sure you have those notifications set on all. It's very important. And lastly, if you feel compelled to super chat anywhere throughout the duration of this broadcast, that's obviously hugely appreciated for all the time and efforts put in. And feel free to ask me whatever questions or comments are on your mind, and I'll do my best to field those, within the best of my ability. Now, who do we got in the chat tonight? We've got Zombie Doge Army, we've got 7-1, Hector the Dude, Marie Potter, good to see you, Marie, Kevin Havens, Emperor Doge, yes, Emperor Doge. Of course, Alan Schneider, Scott Herfurth, Doge Extra, good to see Doge Extra, Rodrigo DeJesus, yes, Bang Stun, good to see you, and Diamond Hand 69, good to see you, Captain Jack Esteban, and the list goes on, Great to see you. So let's see here. Let me go to the top of it right now. How many of you were in my Twitter Spaces earlier? I conducted a Twitter Spaces with Nick, and we opened up the floor to a little bit to some other folks, and perhaps it got a little too busy in that regard. Definitely, we'll fine tune it, but overall it went really well. We had about 300 folks in there. We had a journalist from the New York Times listening. We had Wired Magazine tuning in. So who knows what will become of that? Maybe I'll be in some NYT or Wired article in the next couple of days. But what we were talking about was everything that's been transpiring in relation to Elon and Binance. Those of you who are regular viewers of the show know that I have been covering this very heavily for the last almost 3 weeks now, trying to bring as much attention to it as I can, because I didn't feel like it was getting enough, and I thought this was a really big story. Nothing short of a scandal, frankly, as it relates to Binance, and so it was really good to see what transpired early this morning in relation to Elon putting attention on that, which I will get to momentarily. Bang Stun coming in with a $1 make you holler. Appreciate it, Bang Stun. Appreciate it. First super chat of the night. Mary New York, $5 super chat with some Shiba Inu Haya Karate. Thank you, Mary. Always appreciate you. Thank you for supporting the program. So what transpired early this morning? I'm just going to get into an article by Cointelegraph. Overall, I think they do a fantastic idea. So I'm just going to read a few excerpts from this article from Cointelegraph, and then I'll share my thoughts, okay? Binance CEO counters Elon Musk for bringing up Dogecoin issues. The world's richest man pushes Binance to address some issues related to his favorite digital currency. Twitter has become an arena for another cryptocurrency-related battle due to Binance experiencing ongoing issues with Dogecoin withdrawals. Tesla CEO Elon Musk, one of the world's biggest Dogecoin fans, took to Twitter on Tuesday to bring up issues related to Dogecoin withdrawals on Binance, tagging Binance CEO Changpeng Zhao Musk wrote, "What's going on with your Doge customers? Sounds shady." Oh, I love it. Sounds shady. Oh my goodness. To which there was a back and forth there. Um, Binance officials, Binance's official Twitter account took almost 30 minutes to respond, arguing that there was nothing shady with the issue and citing a fresh Twitter update regarding the problem. The root of the cause is a technical issue due to a recent upgrade process that caused old transactions to be resent to about 1,700 users, Binance said. As a result of the issue, some Binance users have received old transactions, while some could not withdraw their Dogecoin. We've kindly asked those who received old transactions to return them, but we're aware that select users are having trouble accessing some of their wallets. The firm went on to say that the issue occurred exclusively on Binance, as the platform has a different technical wallet set up for Doge. In order to fix the problem, Binance would have to rebuild the wallet entirely, which could take another week or so, he confirmed. Apparently not being satisfied with Binance's response, okay, Elon continued attacking the exchange, stating Doge holders using Binance should be protected from those errors that are not their fault. Yes, thank you, Elon. Well stated, couldn't agree more. Musk also cited a thread by the Dogecoin developers explaining that the issue started a bit over a year ago. Sliding Edge coming in with the $2 super chat. Thank you, Sliding Edge. Appreciate you. Tuesday before Turkey Day, sleuthing the Binance fiasco. Yes, sleuthing the Binance fiasco. Thank you, Sliding Edge. Appreciate you. Let's see here. So that's pretty much it for this in relation to that article. So here we have Elon coming in, putting a huge world spotlight on Binance. And Binance deserves to be under this sort of heat. They really do. What they've done, not only to Dogecoin users over these past 3 weeks, but to all its user base, frankly, over the past few years, there's more red flags regarding Binance than communist parade. And, you know, one thing we do know, and Nick and I have talked about this extensively, is that the reason why, overall, from what I can tell, the reason why Binance has these issues is because they're incredibly understaffed. They are running, they're kind of running on fumes, frankly, when it comes to staffing and labor. Now, this is very curious because Binance is the world's largest exchange by trading volume, and yet they choose to understaff themselves and underpay the folks who run their nodes and their validators for BNB coin. They choose to do that. So essentially what you're talking about is CZ is cutting all the wrong corners, okay, at the expense of the Binance user base. And now it's finally really starting to bite him in the butt, right? And I can't say I feel bad for him in any regard. He's had a long time. He's had a long time to, frankly, do something about this. He's had a long time to get these ducks in order. But it really kind of just comes down to a tale of excessive greed. When you're just raking in billions of dollars, particularly as it pertains to Binance's native coin, BNB, yet you are choosing not to keep up with even the most basic levels of maintenance, frankly. And that's going to really potentially jeopardize the entire platform. I will say now, from everything I've read behind the scenes from people that have been working for Binance in one way or another, and all those folks that are coming out now, both Binance and BNB are in a very, very volatile state, much more so than CZ lets on. CZ less on. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Stole my crypto crush. Just some usual smack talk between you guys. So there are on GitHub. There's really interesting reports from several accounts, from several Binance validators that talk about just what a shoddy company that Binance is. That the amount of neglect on their basic operations is absolutely shocking. It's absolutely shocking. And these are things you would assume that are being handled when you are the largest crypto exchange by volume. But they're really not. They're really not handling it. So hopefully this is a wake-up call for CZ. I do think that he's going to, particularly on Binance US, I do think that he's going to pay a price for this. I do think that people are exiting consequentially to this latest round of malfunctions. I think people are exiting Binance and finding alternatives. And, can you blame them? I myself, I've exited Binance. I've liquidated the BNB, that remaining BNB I've had on there. I'm going through alternative means to get BNB to my trust wallet and whatnot. It's not going to be through Binance anymore. So let's see what's going on in the chat. Sliding Edge coming in with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Sliding Edge. Appreciate you, man. CZ should write fortune cookies. Compliance is a journey, especially in new sectors like crypto. This is very telling about their ethics. Yeah, it really is. And something else that was interesting, CZ got pretty defensive when Elon tweeted out that this looks shady. So he, in response, he posted an article from a few years ago wherein Tesla was having some technical difficulties trying to draw a parallel, pointing out a level of hypocrisy there. But it was really a poor attempt, a haphazard attempt, apples to oranges attempt, if it were. And then he kind of retracted that, and then it sort of resolved. Well, where Elon just said "sounds good" about something, but the shots have been fired. They are out there. Elon, and Elon even went so far to say, I once tried to make a Binance account, but I hated the signing up process. It was very tedious. It was laborious. So I just said, F it. I've said this about Binance for a while. I've never found Binance to be user-friendly on any level. I know in one aspect, Nick and I kind of disagree on this. Nick really thinks that the user interface is excellent on Binance, and I think it's all right. I still don't think it's super user-friendly. For me, I guess we look for different things, though, on a trading platform. I want something that's extremely user-friendly, extremely efficient, and quick. Something I can efficiently operate with one hand, make power plays, get deposits in like that, make withdrawals like that. Because many times cryptocurrency trading is very much of a time-sensitive game, frankly. But on Binance, there are so many restrictions at every step of the way, and everything's so unnecessarily clunky and complicated just to do the simplest of functions that I was like, you know what, I'm good. I don't think it's a very good user experience. And furthermore, if you're in the United States, I would encourage you to support platforms that are from the United States. It's going to be better for everybody. Beto says Binance Exchange is garbage. I mean, no lie detected, my friend. No lie detected. Captain Jack says, I like Binance. You have a basic and a pro version by a click of the button. Yeah, I mean, fair enough. I mean, I am familiar with the basic and pro versions. Okay. I still don't like it for a lot of the aforementioned reasons. Um, One of the things I don't like about Binance too is many times if you when you buy a certain cryptocurrency, you are not allowed to transfer that cryptocurrency anywhere for like 4 to 7 days. It usually takes, and I find that rather ridiculous. And consequently, the extraction process of converting um, cryptocurrency to fiat and putting it in your bank, it, it takes several days usually to sort that as well. Um, but I do know a few people that still like Binance. For me, for ethical reasons and just personal taste reasons, I don't care for Binance. I'm done with Binance. Let's see here. Let me move the graphics in a little bit there. There we go. Um, anyway, this next article comes courtesy of Business Insider. Elon Musk wants Dogecoin investors to be protected as Binance extends withdrawal freeze another week. So, guys, this Dogecoin glitch in the Matrix is going to be at least another week before Binance could get this sorted, which is okay. Binance's freeze on Dogecoin withdrawals could get extended by another week, as Elon Musk isn't happy about it. The Doge father told Binance that investors in Dogecoin should be protected from errors that are not their fault. The crypto exchange claims it's rebuilding its wallet for Doge, which is why it's taking longer than originally expected to raise the fees. The developers behind Dogecoin claim that Binance knew about the database glitch a little over a year ago and chose to ignore the team's advice. CZ has been making headlines for all the wrong reasons this year, and this time it's caught the ire of Elon Musk. The crypto exchange has been facing issues with respect to Dogecoin withdrawals, which Musk, the Doge father, felt may be indicative of something shady. However, Binance claims there's nothing shady afoot, just a technical glitch that they're sorting out. Whatever the case may be, Musk advocated that investors in his preferred currency, Dogecoin, should be protected from errors that are not their fault. Yes. Shortly after Elon Musk's initial tweet, Binance Twitter account wrote out a thread explaining the issue. I'm trying to see if there's anything else pertinent in here. And so the official Dogecoin developers Twitter account did issue a statement on that. And this was from November, way back. They were talking about this way back in November 11th, and they said this, providing some clarification on the Binance situation. One, a bit over a year ago, Binance notified us that they had stuck transactions. We were not shown these transactions, but it was suggested that they were stuck due to inefficient fees. So another thing that was really interesting about this is how CZ from Binance is kind of passing the buck, right? To even as late as this afternoon, was blaming what he's calling a glitch, mostly on the Dogecoin development team. Now, I've talked to a few members of the Dogecoin development team, folks. This is not this is not an issue that rests on the shoulders on the Dogecoin development team. I assure you, this is something that rests on the shoulders and responsibility of the day-to-day workings or lack thereof on Binance. Anyway, let's get back to the chat, see what's going on here. I'm sick of... Beto says, I'm sick of CZ. He's a B. Bia. 7-1. Steven called $5 engine 7 months ago. He said by the end of the year, he might be right. Good memory. You remember that. You remember my $5 Binance call from way back, don't you? Good memory, 7-1. Yes, I did. Yes, I did call that. It looks right on track to that now, doesn't it? Can't wait to be done with Binance. They're not all that bad, but I feel a lot better when I can get my crypto off of there. Yeah, it is a good feeling to get it all off of there, Jimmy D. And I don't blame you. I don't blame you one iota. So let's see here. When we bring up, I'm just bringing up Elon's Twitter feed when he's his correspondence with that, and he actually retweeted and pointed out that Twitter update I just read to you from the official Dogecoin developers account, and he had the little point emoji for that to CZ. CZ quipped back and said, "Elon, we are pretty certain it is an issue with the latest Doge wallet. We are in communication with the devs. Apologies for any inconvenience that may have caused you. What happened here?" And then he proceeds to post an article from The Guardian, of all papers. I'm not a big fan. Tesla software glitch prompts safety recall of nearly 12,000 vehicles. And this is from about a year and a half ago. And so, yeah, shots definitely fired from CZ. Now, a big silver lining here. I think this is going to embolden and motivate Elon Musk to want Dogecoin to succeed and even more. I think this is going to have an absolutely galvanizing effect on Elon Musk after he gets in this clear dust up with the CEO of Binance in relation to Dogecoin and the protection of Dogecoin holders. I think this is going to have that sort of effect on Elon as it relates to Dogecoin. So I do think potentially there is a big silver lining here. Furthermore, the other silver lining as I see it is I think a lot of Doge holders are going to be migrating off of Binance and onto better exchanges, or maybe even on the cold wallet if that's your game. I know the Twitter user, what's his name, Misha Bohr. I know he's been really pushing that, Dogecoin holders to extract off of exchanges onto cold wallets, so they can pull all the liquidity out, and with the idea of this is going to raise the market value of Dogecoin. I mean, look, I don't think it's a bad way to go. I own a cold wallet. I keep some of my crypto on a cold wallet. I keep other crypto on exchanges. I personally, I guess I would respectfully disagree with the notion that this would have an enormous impact, okay, on the market value of Dogecoin. Furthermore, you have a lot of Dogecoin holders who are getting really good monthly interest returns on Dogecoin, depending on what exchanges that they are holding on. So I don't really see it as a super absolute issue. I try not to spend too much time pressuring people about how they should hold their Dogecoin or what they should do. Look, I think all these things are good. I think moving your Dogecoin to a cold wallet's a good thing. If you feel led to do that, I think running a Doge node is awesome. If you feel led to do that, I think tipping other people is awesome if you feel led to do that. But I don't think we should create a culture where people feel obligated and pressured to do these things. Most investors have a more casual but fun relationship with Dogecoin, and I think that's a good thing. I think that really helps. Spread the popularity of the cryptocurrency. So, let people do what they want to do. That's how I feel. If people feel led to do the aforementioned, that's great. I support that. But if they don't feel led to those things, I think that's just fine too. I support that as well. I love watching all your super old shows from when you started. It's proof you truly are the real deal. Oh, awesome, 7-1. Thank you. I love hearing about when people go through my old archives, and there's a lot there. I mean, I've made a lot of content in over the last 9 months. A lot of content. Yeah. In fact, Crypto Batman was talking about me on his last stream, and he said, I cannot believe Steele doesn't have more subscribers. I can't believe he hasn't blown up more. He is so consistent. I just can't believe it. Well, I can believe it. I can believe it. But hey, que sera, sera. I think in all due time, right, folks? Speaking of which, folks, if you haven't already hit that like button, if you could just take a moment to do that, really appreciate it. So just if you haven't smashed the like button, please smash it now. Appreciate it. Diamond Hands Freddy asks, do you think Doge is going to dip even more in the short term? It could, and I've talked about this over the last 2 shows. We could see a Doge dip. We could see a Doge dip as low as 18 cents, frankly. That's the bad news. Yes, I think it could get that low. That's the bad news. The good news, however, is if that happens, I don't think that's going to happen long. And I think it's going to be followed by a pretty solid bull run. I really do. Like I've said many times, this is a waiting game. It's not for the faint of heart. It's for people who have the patience and have the tenacity to see this thing through. I think we have more than enough reasons to believe and speculate that Dogecoin is going to overwhelmingly be one of the most transacted cryptocurrencies on the planet. I believe the table is being set for it to do so. And I think a lot of that's coming to an ultimate apex in the first quarter of 2022. So hang on, folks, hang on. Zombie Doge Army says, Steven's buttery voice isn't for everyone. No, it certainly isn't. I've gotten hate mail about my voice. And I can't help it because it's my voice. But I understand if my... people often say I have kind of more of a radio voice. And that would make sense because I used to do voiceovers and stuff. But I can also understand how that's not for everyone. Some people think it's kind of cheesy, but I can't help it. It's just the way I sound. It's just the way I sound. And I don't mean it to be. I'm just me. Calm down. Got my Doge kind of. She's a little too excited over here. A little too excited about Steele Live, but she's a big supporter. Remy is a big supporter of the program. Let me see here. Let's kick back to my notes and Reuters. I mean, this is the news coverage on this Elon Musk Binance Battle Royale is just absolutely extraordinary. And it's being covered already. I mean, we're not even to tomorrow morning yet, folks. And mainstream press has really gotten a hold of this thing. And you think it's big news tonight. It's going to be even bigger news tomorrow when you wake up. This story is going to be everywhere, folks. This is going, not just mainstream financial press, but just mainstream news, period, is going to pick up on this story. It's got a lot of those elements, you know. It's got a lot of those elements. Audio Freak says, you sound down to earth. Some people try too hard with the voice. You just sound natural. Appreciate that, Audio Freak. I have to say, Steven is the next Art Bell. I'll take it, Alan. I appreciate that. I think that I take that as a compliment. In fact, I do see the overall arcing trajectory going into the future here. I do want to branch out a little bit more. Don't worry, it's always going to be crypto-centric and dog money-centric. But I do want to branch out a little bit more, have a little bit more variety of interesting guests, and talk about a little more variety of topics in the future. You guys are familiar, see me do this on this show. I just wouldn't mind going a little bit further in that direction. And yeah. So, anyway, what was I going to say? I know what I was going to say. Goodness gracious. So last week we had the founder of ADA Cardano, Charles Hoskinson. I thought he was done with this nonsense. I thought he made peace with the Dogecoin, and he just couldn't. He couldn't stay chill, ladies and gentlemen. So Charles Hoskinson, on one of his live streams last week, started talking smack about Dogecoin again, claiming it had very little utility or purpose in the market, existing in the market. Just ridiculous. Just nonsense. He knows better than this crap. He knows better. So he was basically just trying to speak FUD about Dogecoin in efforts to, give ADA Cardano a better positioning. I think this is strategically really stupid, not to mention in poor taste, but I just think it's strategically dumb. There is so much, wait, time out. I'll get to that, put a bookmark in that, because I want to go on to something else, and I think it's in my notes here, because I'm pretty sure I would have put one of the articles related to it in my notes, but if not, no big deal. I can kind of freestyle on it on my own. Oh well, I'll just freestyle it on my own. So yesterday, the CEO and creator of Ripple, aka XRP, his name's Brad Garlinghouse, he's coming after Dogecoin now too, claiming that it has no supply cap. That he says he's not quite sure if it's good for crypto at all. Folks, I've had enough of this nonsense. Just a couple minutes on a search engine will make you better informed on Dogecoin than both Charles Hoskinson and Brad Garlinghouse. What's that say about these guys? These guys are CEOs of major top 15 cryptocurrencies by market cap, and they are propagating the most basic myths, truths about Dogecoin out there. I think it's in very poor taste. I think it's stupid. And I think it's strategically dumb. So either these guys really think these myths, truths about Dogecoin, or they're purposely trying to spread FUD and mislead people to give Dogecoin a bad taste in people's mouths. Either way, this is not good. Either scenario is not good. Do you want to invest in a coin wherein the CEO doesn't know the very basic fundamentals of some top 10 cryptos? I find that immensely disturbing and underwhelming simultaneously. Or if it's not that, they're just being malicious. They're maliciously misleading people, which is just as bad in my opinion. Also, I think this is all very unnecessary because there is quite a bit of overlap between Dogecoin investors that also hold ADA, that also hold XRP. I know many of you hold XRP. I've spoke very well of XRP as a solid long-term investment. I've said this for many months. And so now for Brad Garlinghouse to come out and say this sort of thing, I don't like it. But you know what? The silver lining to this is, why do you suppose that these CEOs, and all the way from Bitcoin maximalists to Brad Garlinghouse to Simon Yu to Charles Hoskinson, why are they all trying to FUD Dogecoin? Dogecoin didn't do anything to them. The Dogecoin community, from what I've seen, wasn't talking smack about any of these respective coins or people. They brought the fight to us. They brought the criticism to us. And they've done it in a very freaking dishonest manner. Propagating things like Dogecoin has an unlimited supply cap, no supply cap, which is blatantly false. It has a soft annual supply cap. And then also saying things like Dogecoin has little to no utility. It has no utility. Heard that from Charles again. Heard that from, excuse me, dropped my microphone. Heard that from Simon Yu. That Dogecoin has no utility. In fact, Simon Yu said Dogecoin was cancer to the crypto market. Cancer. These are not people that are trying to be diplomatic or play nice. They're trying to take Dogecoin out. So I would submit to you that you might want to keep these things in mind going forward with your investments. I'm not going to go out there and say that I think ADA and XRP are bad investments. I don't think that. But Yeah, just makes you think. Just makes you think. I kind of feel bad because I know that my co-hostess, Sadaf, she is a huge voice in the XRP community, and she's been an XRP investor for quite a long time. I mean, no disrespect to her in the XRP community by any means. I want to be clear about that. In fact, pretty much all of my interactions with the XRP community specifically have been very pleasant, very good. But I just think it's very unfortunate that Brad Garlinghouse has, pivoted this way in relation to Dogecoin. I just don't think it was very well thought out. Furthermore, it shows how incredibly disconnected these CEOs are from their own base, frankly. I mean, the amount of overlap between Dogecoin investors and XRP investors, for example, is pretty significant. And the same goes with ADA. In fact, we have perfect examples of that right on this show. Both of my co-hosts, Nick Balls and Sadaf Jadran. Sadaf Jadran owns a lot of XRP. It's one of her primary positions. And Nick, his second largest position is ADA Cardano. Okay. We didn't start the fire. We just want to get along. And these guys are going to keep slinging arrows. And don't get me wrong. I'm a groovy, easygoing guy, but at the same time, we need to stand up for ourselves and say, hold the phone. The things that you're propagating about Dogecoin are not true. They're factually false. I don't know why you're doing this, but you got to be called on it. And I would submit to Charles Hoskinson, Brad Garlinghouse, Simon Yu, even CZ. You want to talk about the merits of Dogecoin? You want to have that debate? We can have that debate, my friends. We can have that debate. I will talk with each and every one of you fellas. You're welcome on this show, and we can talk about it. And we can debate about it. And I'll let you know what I think. And I'll let you know where you've gone wrong. Both strategically and factually. Okay? This is nonsense. These guys really need to grow up. One of the strengths about Dogecoin, in my opinion, this really emphasizes one of the strengths about Dogecoin. It doesn't have a CEO. And that's a good thing, because if your CEO starts popping off like a jackass, then that's jeopardizing your investment, frankly. And we've seen CEOs pop off like jackasses. I believe that Charles Hoskinson's is Charles Hoskinson's greatest enemy, frankly. When you see how he's handled his interactions, his communication style, and business dealings, I think he is a pretty key reason why ADA Cardano isn't further along than it is in market value. I've done a few streams in the past, kind of poking fun and reading the Twitter correspondences between Charles and Mark Cuban, for example. Charles was trying to get Mark Cuban's attention over selling Mark Cuban and all the merits of ADA Cardano and this, that, and the other thing. And Mark Cuban said, Charles Hoskins said, yeah, Mark, I'd love to break this all down for you for a few days. Come for a few days at my ranch. You think a guy like Mark Cuban is going to take a couple days off of his schedule from his family and his businesses to hang out with Charles Hoskinson's to talk about Cardano for 3 days at a frickin' ranch? No, that's almost an insulting invite to make for somebody like in the position that Mark Cuban said. So Mark just said, you know what? We're not doing the ranch. Just tell me here on Twitter what are the practical merits and progress of ADA. And then Charles got very defensive. Oh my God, you want me to pitch ADA on here just out on Twitter in public? To which Mark Cuban responded, yeah, I do. And then Charles Hoskinson's whole tone after that was extremely juvenile and defensive. And by that time, do you think that there is any possibility that Mark Cuban would be open to anything Charles had to say? Do you think Mark Cuban was open? Do you think there's anything from that point forward that Charles could have said to Mark Cuban to convince him to take ADA Cardano seriously to the point of helping it and using it towards some level of adoption? No, of course not. No, of course not. So this is the personality, this is the temperament that's running the show. If you're an ADA investor, he's directly representing you. How he rubs people is going to have a direct impact on your investment. That's why I haven't been a big ADA investor personally, because of I don't have a lot of personally. I'm not saying that ADA is still a bad long play. I still think it likely is a decent long play. I do think that, but I also think that Charles Hoskinson is a liability. And now we're seeing the same sort of thing with Brad Garlinghouse. Brad Garlinghouse, what the heck are you doing, man? I have no problem with XRP. I don't know really anyone in Doge land that has a problem with XRP. So why unnecessarily sow this division? Why unnecessarily pop off about Dogecoin and disparage Dogecoin? Dogecoin hasn't done shit to you. Dogecoin hasn't done shit to the XRP community. So for him to pop off like this is, again, I think it's very strategically stupid, and it's factually incorrect. You know, again, Brad, Charles, Simon, you, and you guys, you want to talk about it? Let's talk about it. You have an open invite here on my chat, here on my show. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Trucking all day, Doge has the richest man in the world and the top crypto creator blessings, which makes everyone jealous. Yeah, I think there is. I think you raised a good point there, Trucking all day. I think in part these sort of reactions are born out of jealousy of Elon continuously advocating for Dogecoin. I think that really frustrates people. I know it frustrates the Bitcoin maximalists. They always refer to that, right? They always refer to that. I mean, they can say what they want about Dogecoin, but people are spending it. People are spending Dogecoin more so than any other cryptocurrency when it comes to the retail space. Now, the only exception to that would be Ethereum, okay, as it relates to the NFT market. So, Ethereum, by sheer amount, okay, is going to be number one in that regard, just because of the gargantuan amounts that are transacted in the NFT space. But you take it outside that NFT space and you go into just the general retail market, Doge is the one that's thriving. And furthermore, the Doge Ethereum bridge is going to make it possible in the near future to give applicability for Dogecoin in the NFT space. So that's going to be very exciting. Very, very good to see. And hopefully this will result in a tokenized version of Dogecoin, which can be transacted for purchases on enormous platforms like OpenSea. I think this is going to be a very important step for long-term adoption for Dogecoin. Folks, if you're just joining us, you're watching Steven Steele Live. I'm your man, Real Deal Steven Steele. Thank you for joining me on a late one tonight. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you're getting something out of it. Hope you're being entertained on some level. If you're brand new here, I just want to personally welcome you and let you know we got an awesome community here, and I want you to be a part of it. So feel free to hit subscribe and hit on that notification bell so you never have to miss another fun, eccentric live stream from here ever again. I do have some new guests lined up. I don't have the dates on specifically yet, but guys, I'm going to keep bringing big guests, and it's not going to be there's not going to be a lot of downtime here. I assure you. And I am excited. I'm going to keep bringing you guys really, really, really awesome guests. I will be sharing more of those with you. Well, I'm having Leah Halpern. She's going to be coming on here within the next week. Just don't have a date nailed down yet. Leah Halpern's pretty big deal. She's an attractive gal from the United Kingdom, and she recently wrote a book called Bitcoin Undressed. And she also offers some socio commentary as well in her content. So I think she'll be pretty fiery, interesting person to have on. So look for that soon. Josh Rendell coming in, celebrating 6 months of membership support. Thank you so much, Josh. Appreciate that. Appreciate it. Subbed for 6 months. Still haven't gotten feed pics from Steven. Sorry, my friend. You are going to be SOL on that one. Never happened. Not my bag. Josh Rendell disavows coming in with a $10 super chat. Thank you, Josh. Appreciate that, man. Tall at Steven Steele. Rich. Well, I'm tall, but I'm not so rich. I'm definitely pleb status. I assure you. But thank you, Josh. I appreciate it. You know, I got to be honest with you guys. A pretty decent chunk of my income now is dependent on my content creation, because this chronic illness I've been dealing with for about a full year now. It has greatly compromised my ability to physically work and run my business, my small business that I own, to the capacity that I normally would. I'd say I'm compromised by about 90% productivity-wise of what I would have done before this all hit me. So again, I just want to say that because I just want to extend my sincere appreciation to your support. Thank you. Let me see what's going on here. Next story. Avalanche, AVAX, you guys. AVAX is just absolutely killing it. AVAX defies market crash to replace other currencies as a top 10. So Avalanche still holding on to that number 10. Maybe it might have slipped down to a number 11 now overnight. But Avalanche cryptocurrency AVAX is now one of the 10 largest cryptocurrencies by market capitalization, overtaking popular meme token Dogecoin and Shiba Inu in defiance of market-wide crash that wiped out hundreds of billions in value and saw prices of major cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum plummet. So basically what happened is, while the rest of the market was in a total plummet, AVAX was just defying it, and just came up to the ranks to the point of ascending and getting into the number 10 top market cap by, which is just extraordinary. This is another one that I called, in addition to Engine. I said, look to AVAX to do big things. Look for it to pretty much go 2.5x, to anywhere from 2.5x to 5x over the course of the next few months. And here we are. So I would say we're at about 2.5x right now. Okay. From when I first recommended AVAX. And I think there's a lot more room to go there. And I said this previously several times, but it really wouldn't surprise me if Avalanche ended up in the top 5 or 6 and stayed there, frankly. The exciting thing about the more credible DeFi projects that are out there, not only are they great alternatives to the high gas fees of Ethereum, for example, but even after Ethereum gets that under control, and Ethereum will get under control, I assure you, Ethereum's not going anywhere. I think it's going to be number 2 for, it's going to be very hard to knock it off the number 2 spot. I don't think it's happening. And I still think there's a reasonable possibility over the long term for Ethereum to ascend to that number 1 position. That being said, I'm telling you that because I think that there's plenty of room in the market for both Ethereum, Engine, AVAX, and Solana. I think they're all going to do well. Beyond that, that kind of remains to be seen. But I think that the DeFi industry, its tentacles are so varied and deep that I think that there's room for all of the aforementioned there to do just fine and thrive. Tony C coming in with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Tony. Appreciate you. Wish you nothing but good fortune. Thank you. Appreciate you, Tony. Right on. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Let's see. Yeah, a new person coming in. You guys should check out Hoge. It's room for 100x growth. Yeah, Hoge folks, I'll say this. Hoge folks are they're believers, man. They're believers. I'm not invested in Hoge, but they can be a little pushy. But overall they're a pretty nice community. I have to say, pretty nice community. But who knows? Who am I to say that Hoge won't 100x from here? Anything could happen, folks. Anything could happen. Let's see here. Let me go to. Let me just first pivot back to this Forbes article that was talking about the rise of Avalanche. Cryptocurrency is a notoriously volatile asset class, and even assets that at the very top of the market are not immune to wild, rapid fluctuations. Blah blah blah. But AVAX's gains defy the market-wide crash recently that has seen a lot of depreciation. Well, AVAX went way up in value. At its current value, AVAX is valued more than a social media company, Pinterest, and Southwest Airlines. So that's pretty cool to hear about. I'm a big fan of AVAX. I think there's plenty of room to go there. It's one of my larger positions now. And I really like it. I really like its utility. That team seems to be really on the ball there, and I think there's a lot of room yet. Josh Rendell coming in with $30 super chat. Wow, thank you, Josh. Really appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. Put a 1 in chat if Steven should start a separate channel called Steele Blue Eyes. What? Oh my God. What would the nature of that channel be, Josh? Just out of curiosity. What would Steele Blue Eyes? What would be the purpose of that channel? And secondly, my eyes aren't really blue. They're much more hazel than blue. They're mostly all hazel with touches of blue. Now, when I was a little kid, it was the opposite. They're mostly blue with a little bit of touch of gray and hazel. But the older I got, now they're hazel eyes with just a tinge of blue. And I forget the statistics on that, but people with hazel eyes, it's a pretty slim margin of society that are hazel eyed. I need to get into sand so bad. Yeah, that's another one too. So folks, the 3 DeFi related projects that are already big, that I still think have a lot of potential and room to grow are Sand, AVAX, and Crow. I don't think any of these are done yet. Now, I would have more positions in both Sand and Crow. I just don't have the capital. I just have to pick my battles right now. So, AVAX is kind of where I put my, put my stake in the ground there. But I think all 3 of those have a high likelihood anyway. This is not financial advice. This is financial fried rice. Have a high likelihood of even doing. I think there's a lot of room there yet. Josh Rendell disavows coming in with $5 super chat. Josh, thank you for your super chats tonight, man. Really appreciate it. Literally helping things keep going over here. Steven Steele, rated R content, bro. Okay, that's fair. We could do maybe perhaps a rated R channel. Yeah, we could do that. Just have some more spicy conversations with maybe different kinds of guests over there. I wouldn't be opposed to that. Diamond Hands Freddy says, I'm more bullish about Doge every day. Do me I got a question for you guys. Now, how many of you folks also watch Living with Lucy? I'm just curious to see how many of the folks here are crossover audiences from Living with Lucy. If you watch Living with Lucy, also put a number 1 in the chat. I'm just curious. I just don't have a platform with sand on it. Yeah, so you can buy sand through Trust Wallet, through BNB. You can convert it to sand. That's how I've done it. So that's how I did it. Let me see here. I'm going to go to the next story. This one comes courtesy of Investor Place. Dogecoin easily could double or more from its current levels. That's good news, right? And we will explain why. Yeah, pretty good amount of ones in the chat of Living with Lucy fans that are also Steven Steele fans. I love it. I love that Living with Lucy and I have a pretty good crossover audience here that kind of toggle back and forth. I think Lucy's a tremendous I think she's a tremendous content creator. I think she's got a great vibe, and I like her flow. I think she's a total sweetheart, and I think she's really good for the Doge community. I really do. I think she's kind of underrated, you know, like me. I think I'm underrated. Anyway, it's really I think it's cool that we have a pretty good crossover there between us. Anyway, getting back to this Investor Place article, a wider adoption of Dogecoin will boost price. I agree. After touching highs of 73 cents in May, Dogecoin witnessed a sharp correction. Yes, it did. After a euphoric rally, the meme coin has moved sideways for more than 6 months now. After an extended period of consolidation, there is sufficient reason to believe that Dogecoin is positioned for another big rally. This is what Nick and I talk about all the time, folks. Before discussing the coin further, let's talk about fiat money. The dollar and all other currencies globally are fiat money. The dollar is not backed by gold. Okay, this is basic 101 information. Reasons to be bullish on Dogecoin according to Investor Place. Elon Musk holds Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Dogecoin. As a matter of fact, Elon Musk, who supported the price discovery for Dogecoin, according to Musk, Dogecoin felt like the people's crypto. For now, Dogecoin adoption seems to be robust. In October, survey says that Dogecoin adoption in the United States is higher than that of Bitcoin and Ethereum. Folks, let me read that one more time. This is a sentence so nice, you gotta read it twice. For now, Dogecoin adoption seems to be most robust. On an October 2021 survey, that's just last month, folks, it suggests that Dogecoin adoption in the United States is higher than that of Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now, most people don't know that. In fact, I bet you could ask 9 out of 10 crypto investors right now, hey, which out of these 3 has the most adoption in the United States? Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Dogecoin? What do you think most of those people are going to say? What do you think most people are going to say? They're going to say Bitcoin. I bet most. Some will say, and some will say Ethereum, but very few would guess Dogecoin. And that's kind of part where folks like us come in, right? Letting people know, well, what the reality is to that. Josh Randell disavows coming in with a $10 super chat. Thank you so much for that. Actually, I think I missed one above. Diamond Hands 69. Thank you, Diamond Hands 69. I think you might even be a mod over at Lucy's channel. Thank you for the $2 super chat. A birdie said Josh Randell disavows is Jeff Bezos. What? Oh my gosh. Violex, I like what you said there, and welcome to the chat, Violex. Josh Randell disavows coming with a $10 super chat. At DiamondHead69, I'm not Jeff Bezos. I'm just insanely pissed that the Musk beat me in the space race. It's all the coincidence, folks. It's all coincidence. You guys never fail to crack me up. It's good stuff. Keep it coming, guys. Keep it coming. Okay, more reasons to be, according to Investor Place, more reasons to be bullish about Dogecoin. Overall, Dogecoin has 4.5 million holders. Now, I said this in a tweet, and my friend Chad Paxton actually took issue with me. He said, that's not right. There's not 4 million Dogecoin holders. There's closer to 400,000. And I was kind of tired when I read his response, and I said, oh, my bad. I must have meant 400,000. And then when I woke up from my nap, and I'm like, wait, no, I'm right. There are over 4 million Dogecoin holders. And then I double-checked my facts, and then I corrected him. I said, Chad, sir, I am correct. My initial tweet is correct. There is over 4 million Dogecoin holders. That's a lot. That's a lot. And I think that's really good. The overwhelming majority of those 4 million are not on Twitter, folks. So I think that's a good thing. I think that's a good thing. For as fun as Twitter is, for those of us in the Doge community, and I do think it has an effect on the well-being of Doge to a degree. It's also, and I do think it does, particularly from a media standpoint. But it's also good to know that there's the overwhelming majority of Dogecoin holders aren't even on Twitter. They're just holding. They know that a lot of them just know that Elon Musk is very bullish on it, and that's enough for them, given Elon Musk's track record. And they're holding long term and not even thinking about it. There's so many Dogecoin investors out there. They're holding positions and they're not even thinking about it. They're holding positions for years. And I think that's probably the smartest play. A quick audit of Dogecoin also indicates that the cryptocurrency has a high score when it comes to decentralization and security. Yeah, particularly we saw with the most recent Dogecoin update. It really gave a supreme update to Dogecoin in regards to its security. Further, it can increase in value as wider adoption further tightens demand supply scenario. Overall, if Bitcoin is the dollar of the decentralized world, Dogecoin might be a Chinese yen. It is unlikely to be a global currency. I disagree with that. I think it's very likely Dogecoin will be a global currency, but it is likely to survive in coming years. They said also Dogecoin has been subdued for an extended period and looks attractive from a technical perspective. Absolutely, I couldn't agree more. Dogecoin holders may also be eagerly anticipating a tweet or two from Elon Musk. That in itself can be a catalyst. So pretty cool article from Investor Place there. Diamond Hands is 69 coming in with a $2 super chat. Thank you, Diamond Hands. Appreciate you. For those of you, for some reason, if you don't follow me on my new Twitter account, I got a new Twitter, started fresh, started over, had almost 15,000 followers, and I had to start over due to some severe shadow banning activities on Twitter, and I just had to bite the bullet and start from scratch. So, but we're growing pretty quickly over there, and we're having a lot of fun, and we'd love to have you be a part of it. So if you're not already following me on my new Twitter, make sure you're doing that. I'm putting that link in the chat right now, especially since I started doing spaces again. I'm doing a couple spaces every week now with either Sadaf or Nick, and putting Coco in the mix sometimes as well. And we're having a great time. A lot of people are showing up, and it's cool. Sound Gods, welcome, says, I love Dogecoin. I love Dogecoin. Me too, my friend, me too. Alrighty then. Let's see what else is on the list here. This comes courtesy of Futurism. Professor says, this is awful. Professor says Earth is forming Saturn-like rings made of space junk. Earth is on course to having its own rings. They'll just be made of junk. Hold on a second, guys. I've got to plug my charger got unplugged on my computer here, and I don't want the power to go out, of course. So we're just gonna plug it back in. All right, we're good to go. We've got a huge space junk problem, and it's only going to get worse as more and more companies and governments launch satellites, spacecraft, probes, and even tourists into space. While much of what we send to orbit ends up getting sucked back into the Earth's atmosphere and burn up, much of it remains until we figure out how to do something about it. Things could get so bad, University of Utah professor Jake Abbott predicts that the Earth could soon start looking a lot like Saturn. Earth is on course to having its own rings, he told the Salt Lake Tribune. They'll just be made of junk. According to the European Space Agency, there are an estimated 170 million pieces of space debris, larger than the 1 millimeter already across in the orbit. Roughly 700,000 of them are larger than about half-inch across. Companies like SpaceX launching their own massive constellations of broadband beaming satellites. Our planet's orbit is busier than ever. That means we are also at greater risk of knockoff collision events that could cause and result in even more smaller pieces of space junk. Now scientists are trying to figure out how to address the problem. Abbott believes one way is to swoop up the space junk using magnets. That's actually a very good idea. By spinning up a magnet at the end of a robotic arm to create electrical currents called eddies, individual pieces of space junk could be controlled or slowed down, as described by a recent article he published in the journal Nature. We basically created the world's first tractor beam, the researcher told the Salt Lake Tribune. It's just a question of engineering now and building and launching it. I think this is a fair criticism. I'll get back to that once I read the super chat by the mighty Josh Randell. Thank you, Josh Randell, for the $5 super chat. At Diamond Hands, I tried to change the name of my YouTube handle to Josh Amazon Prime Disavows, but it was taken. Was that really taken? I doubt that was taken. And Diamond Hands, thank you for the $2 super chat with the Shiba Inu pointing to the sky. I love it. I love it. This is one of the very few criticisms I've had for Elon Musk. Is I do think there is a concern by launching so many of his Starlink satellites into space. This could really contribute to a significant amount and trend of space debris, which will eventually orbit the Earth in the fashion of Saturn rings. And obviously, we don't want that. I think engineered magnets, however, could be the solution to pulling the space junk out. I do have a lot of faith, though, however, that a solution will come in handy for this, will be on the horizon in the relatively near future for this. But I do think this sort of thing is worthy of funding, and either worthy of government funding to a certain degree, to make sure we are on top of that before it turns into a actual real significant problem. That being said, I do think also that our oceans, right, are a huge problem. Pollution in our oceans. There is an island, a junk and plastic island in the Pacific Ocean that is literally, and this is a very underreported story, by the way. When I look on the news, particularly in America, and all the things that they choose to cover and how they cover it, I don't know how any thinking person, critically thinking person, believes most of these narratives and presentations, especially of what we've seen of a particular story that recently had its stay in our courts. Not going to get into that though. But what I'm saying is there is literally a junk island of just plastic and junk that's the size of Texas in our ocean right now, and hardly anyone's talked about it. I mean, I've seen it mentioned here and there, but this thing's the size of Texas. We got to handle this, and this is having an enormous impact on all the wildlife and the fish. And this really needs to be taken care of. So, I don't want to go on too much of a tangent about that, but I'm just an independent thinker. I think about things in a very issue by issue basis, and consequently that ends me outside of the usual partisan lines. Donna Tabuki coming in with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Donna. Appreciate that. Josh, how can I change $4.99 to $5? I think you could just manually put it there. And Donna, I didn't know you were here. I thought you were taking. I thought we missed you. I was like, "Where's Donna?" I said, "An episode of Steele Live it can't be official until a Tabuki's in here." So there we have it, folks. Tabuki finally made it in here. Josh Rendell says, "Donna, Tabuki, contact Amazon customer support. We'll fix the $4.99 thing." Josh has got the jokes tonight. Josh is fired up. He's got the jokes tonight. Hector the dude says, "I'm an island boy. Most of it is plastic. I'm just trying to make it." Yes. Just an island boy. We're just island boys, just trying to make it. And Donna's under the weather. I get it. If anyone gets it, it's me. I am wishing you well. Donna sent me some pretty potent medicine actually in the mail. Thank you for that. I'm on it right now. But thank you, Donna. Thank you, Donna. Good to see you. Good to see you. And I hope you feel better sooner than later. This is kind of a funny article I came across from courtesy of the Babylon Bee. The Babylon Bee. For those who know, Babylon Bee is a parody website, parody news source. So please understand that's the context of which I will be reading this. This one particularly just made me crack up. Mark Ruffalo donates $50 million to found Joseph Rosenbaum Elementary School. Hollywood Californians show of support for the brave hero who paused. I don't even think I should read this. This is a little too edgy. This is really a little too edgy. I think the headline says it all, though. I'm just gonna leave that one. Oh, okay. In other news, did you guys know that all Indian cryptocurrency exchanges today took a sharp decline, almost to 20%? Everything fell across the board. I mean, full crypto market decline to the likes of 15 to 20%. This absolutely sent a shockwave all across India's crypto market, and all of the holders obviously were totally freaking out, and justifiably so. So this came. I dug into this a little further why this was happening. Well, the Indian Parliament's agenda for the winter session includes a bill that's banning all private cryptocurrencies. Cointelegraph says cryptocurrency and regulation of the official digital currency bill is one of 26 pieces. The Indian government will also be considering a bill that will create a digital rupee starting as early as next week. But I see this is what we're going on again. Another country that's trying to ban all cryptocurrencies while creating a government-sanctioned digital currency in efforts to monopolize the market. Therefore, taking all aspects of decentralization out of it, which kind of defeats the purpose. That seems to be politically what's being attempted in India, and that's consequentially why all of the Indian exchanges are so depressed right now. I haven't looked at where the levels are at now, but everything was down 15 to 20% today. Just shooting absolute shockwaves throughout the nation. Let's see what's going on here in the chat. In part, Lesko, yeah, you could say that. Let's see here. So yeah, we'll see how the hopefully India, obviously, hopefully it doesn't ban cryptocurrency. There's a lot of people there, and that's a lot of people we could stand to keep in the market. But from what I could tell, that's the reason why all the crypto exchanges really took that significant hit. I mean, a real significant hit. My goodness. On other news, this is interesting. eToro to delist Cardano by 2022 for users due to regulatory concerns. The move surprised some users as ADA has not typically been on the regulator's radar. In a statement released on Tuesday, Israeli cryptocurrency exchange eToro announced that it would delist ADA and Tron from the United States customers by the end of the year. After December 31st, U.S. users will no longer be able to use open positions in the tokens nor stake ADA or Tron. Yeah, so wow. I mean, you never would expect that, right? ADA to be deplatformed. So hopefully, who knows? Be careful. This may be the beginning of a trend for ADA. If ADA starts getting deplatformed across the other exchanges, that could be pretty alarming. Anyway, that's about all the news I have for you guys tonight. I've been going for about an hour. Let me see here. Yeah, well over an hour and a half here, actually. I talked my butt off. So I want to thank all you guys for tuning in. Hope you got something out of it. Hope you had a good time. Thanks for kicking it with me. Appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you didn't catch all the show, no worries. Once the show ends, it will be automatically uploaded to the channel, and you can start it from the beginning. Josh Randell disavows coming with a $10 super chat. I'm jealous of Steven Steele's high testosterone facial hair. I hate him with all the love in my heart. Yes. I've been keeping the beard trimmed right about to this length. I'm pretty happy with it right about here. Thank you, Josh. Thank you for the super chats there, Josh. Hugely appreciate it. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys so much. I'll be back tomorrow night. Make sure you are not only following me on... Listen, I want you guys to do me a favor. Everyone that's following me on Twitter, I want you to hit the notification bell on Twitter, because I do spaces now on Twitter with Nick and or Sadaf, and you don't want to miss those. So just stay dialed in with the notifications both on Twitter and here on YouTube. Again, you guys are awesome. Appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for the continued support. A lot of things to be positive about, and we're just gonna keep on trucking through the night. We got a mighty convoy. All right, guys. Until next time, this is Steven Steele signing out.
If we operate with extreme urgency, then we have a chance of making life multiplanetary. Still just a chance, not for sure. If we don't act with extreme urgency, that chance is probably zero. And the rate of innovation is not going to be constant. It's either going to increase the rate of innovation, or it's going to slow down. If you look at American access to space with Crew, we were able to go to the moon in '69. Then with the space shuttle, we could only go to low Earth orbit. And the space shuttle retired. And then for almost a decade, there was no, America had no access to space for its people. So this is a pretty bad trend. It's trending to zero.
Right.
We need a very strong trend in the other direction in order to have any chance whatsoever of making life multiplanetary.
Yep.
So that's the reason for the extreme sense of urgency. If you consider the nature of importance itself and say, how do you tell that anything is important? Well, the lens of history is a helpful guide here. And the more you zoom out, the more you can distinguish the things that are important over a great span of time, the truly important things, versus the things that may seem important in the moment but are forgotten once that moment has passed.